Right. Well, happy Friday to everybody out there. We have a special guest today, Dan. We have Mareem, who's an insurance broker. So we're really excited to talk about some of the things that are happening, especially with all the weather changes that are happening right now. We've getting tons of rain in Southern California that we never seen. We've heard about people not being able to get insurance and rates and all these crazy things that are happening. So Mareem, thank you so much. You want to give a quick intro kind of about yourself and your company?
Yes. Hi, my name is Mareem, and I've been a farmer's agent for 16 years now. And I've been in Irvine, and now my office is in Santa Ana. So I'm a local agent here.
Fantastic. Yeah, so we'll just kick it off. It's been raining a lot. People's roofs are leaking, maybe foundations. What are some stories that you're hearing out there from the crazy rain that we've been experiencing here in Southern California?
Yes, definitely. So we're getting so many calls for roof leak. And the thing is that I always tell my client to call me first. Don't call the 800 number because not every roof leak is covered.
Oh.
So let's say if the water leak because the roof is old and it just have holes in it, that's not covered. It's considered wear and tear. So insurance doesn't cover for wear and tear. So the only way for the water to be covered is if the windstorm knocks the shingle off the roof and then water comes in, then that's covered under windstorm coverage. But roof leak due to wear and tear is not covered by insurance company. And because they file a claim and it's declined, it still shows on the record as a claim. So if they call me, I will advise them to get a roofer inspected to see the cost of the roof first before you file a claim. And that way it doesn't go on record if it's not covered.
So Mareem, I have a question. It might be obvious, but when's the best time for a homeowner to get insurance? Is it when the storm is happening, or is it before the storm happens, or does it make it? I mean, it makes a difference, right? When a person calls you up and says, "Look, I need a homeowner's policy. I'm buying a new home," and I think you even have to have insurance to close escrow on the purchase of a new home, right? So,
yes.
When's the best time for a homeowner to buy insurance?
Well, you can't close escrow without insurance. The lender will not give you the loan so they have to have proof of insurance before you close escrow. So the best time is when you buy a house. But let's say if you paid it off and you don't owe any money, you don't have to have insurance because it's your house now. But I always tell people, well, you definitely need insurance because now you paid off. That's all your money in the house. If it were to burn down, then it's not the bank's money, it's your money in that house. So you definitely get insurance whenever you own a home, definitely.
And I think for most people, their house is their biggest asset. That's where most of their wealth is. So, of course, you'd want to insure it because that's going to protect your nest egg.
Yes, for sure. And a lot of people do have to have insurance, so it's not a problem getting insurance, but getting the right insurance because, speaking of the rain, flood insurance is not covered under homeowner insurance. So homeowner insurance covers for hazards such as fire and windstorm. It doesn't cover for flood if it rains and the water rises. So you have to get flood insurance on top of that. But most people in California, we don't have a lot of rain, so most people don't have flood insurance unless they're in a flood zone and then the lender requires you to have flood insurance. But that's very rare. You have to be like maybe in the Huntington Beach, Newport Beach area or certain areas where they deem as a flood zone. But
I've seen in the news, you see these videos of houses sliding off the mountain.
Landslide.
A landslide. I think it's happened in Los Angeles. It's happening in Dana Point.
Yes.
So I was kind of wondering, gosh, I wonder if those people have insurance, and if they do, would a landslide like that be covered by insurance? I'm guessing no.
No. So even if you have flood insurance, it's not covered for landslide. You have to get landslide on top of that as an endorsement, and it's very hard to get landslide insurance because you have to get an engineer out to do some kind of report for your property to give to the insurance company. Then they will give you insurance, and it's very hard. Like, I don't even insure any landslide right now just because it's very difficult to get. Most people don't want to pay an engineer to come out to do an evaluation of their home.
And yet, if your home is one of those that slid off the mountain, you're wishing you would have paid that extra amount, right, to get the engineer out?
Yes, you should. I mean, it's an investment. You have to protect your asset. So if you are in a cliff or something, I would definitely get that
So
report.
what are the popular riders? So you get your basic homeowner's policy, And but what are the optional riders? Would earthquake be one, landslide be another? And these all cost extra, right? Are there any other riders that you would recommend a homeowner consider?
Yes, so when you get a home policy, the basic coverage comes with fire, windstorm, theft, vandalism, and liability. Liability meaning someone slip and fall in your house, they sue you, that's liability. Or if a contractor comes do some work, they get hurt, they sue you, that's
You have
also
a
for
party,
liability.
somebody slips and falls, and something bad happens. That's part of the coverage.
Yes, that's part of coverage. So what is not covered is earthquake. So you have to get that extra earthquake insurance. Flood is not covered. If water rises from the outside, it's not covered. Water damage is covered from the inside. If a pipe bursts and water gush out, and let's say you're not home, you came home to a pile of water inside the house, that is covered under insurance.
I've had that happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, haven't we all?
Well, water damage is actually one of the most claimed that we get, more than fire, more than windstorm. It's like maybe 70% of our claims is water damage. So, but yeah, so the flood is extra, earthquake is extra, landslide is extra. And then like also most people don't think about this, but jewelry is also extra in terms of, let's say you have a really expensive engagement ring and you lose it, that's not covered, but you can add that as a rider in your home insurance too.
How do you do
great.
that? Do you have to, let's say there's a piece of art or a piece of jewelry and you want to add that specifically, or maybe you have 3 or 4 things that you want to add specifically. Do you just like write the name on there, or do you have to get someone in to come in and value it and have a picture? And how does a person go about adding a specific item to their policy?
Yeah, so it's called, you schedule a floater. So you can schedule a floater for a jewelry. So we would just need an appraisal, a recent appraisal of the jewelry and a picture. And then we see the value and we add that to the value. So let's say and it covers for mysterious disappearance. Meaning if you go on vacation, you lose your piece of jewelry, then that's covered if you schedule it in for that value. But we give you a premium for that, how much it costs. Same thing for fine arts, for expensive rugs.
You have to have an appraisal if it's let's say it's a painting on the wall.
Yeah,
You
paintings,
you have to get an appraisal
you have
for
to
that.
submit an appraisal. Then I will add it to the policy, scan in the appraisal, leave it there. If something happened, they will cover up to that value of the item.
So without an appraisal,
Without
you
a
cannot
schedule.
add it, or can I just say, I got this great painting in Carmel and it's worth $1 million. Now, can I just? No, I can't just say that. I have to have an appraisal to show what it's really worth.
Yeah, you have to have an appraisal, and also you have to schedule in. But if you don't do any of that, we only cover up to like maybe 1,000 per piece. That's it.
I see.
Yeah, that's the max you can get for certain items.
How many people add special items like that to their policy?
Not very many.
I think more people should do that, right?
Yeah, if they valued their items. I had a client that had a $27,000 engagement ring, and she went on vacation. She lost it, but she did schedule it in, and she got a check for $27,000.
Oh.
Well, minus her deductible, which is $1,000. So
Still,
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's worth it.
Very timely. Good thing you encouraged her to do that.
yeah. So I did a whole valuation to go over everything to make sure, if they have any high valuable item, we can schedule it in. So yeah.
I wanted to ask you, Maureen, what's going on in California with the insurance business that's making it kind of difficult to get homeowners insurance and
Yes.
even auto insurance?
Fire insurance. Is
Yeah,
another one that we heard out there.
what's
Yeah.
happening, and how's that affecting your business?
So right now, like it seems like there's an exodus to California from California to for insurance company because of the past 5 to 6 years. There has been catastrophic fire claims. So and then also now we're starting to have catastrophic winter storm. Like last year was the biggest winter storm ever, and there was a lot of roof caving in from the snow in Big Bear and Mammoth, and that cost insurance a lot of money to repair. So and then COVID also happened. So the past 3 years during COVID, insurance company were not allowed to raise rate. Normally they raise rate every year to keep up with inflation, but because in the past 3 years they weren't able to raise rate, and then inflation went up a lot with car value. Normally car value depreciate, but during COVID it appreciate because of the parts and inventory were going up, and labor, and also with reconstruction costs for home, like lumber went up a lot. So they still have to pay out high price in reconstruction and replacing, but yet they weren't able to raise rate to keep up with it. So now that they're able to raise rate, it's kind of like a little bit late for them. So either they're going to raise it really high, which they might not get the approval from the Department of Insurance. So they just prefer just to not do new business in California right now. So that's what's happening. So now a lot of major company like State Farm, Allstate, Costco, Travelers, a lot of companies are not doing new business in California right now. Farmers, surprisingly, they are still doing new business, new homeowner insurance in California, but they put a lot of restriction. They don't want landlord policy because they consider it higher risk. They do not want condo policies. So if you're buying a condo right now, it's so hard to get condo insurance right now. Because condo, if you think about it, is small, right? But if your neighbor's water leak, it goes into your unit. Yeah, so you're connected to other people, and what if they don't maintain their pipe or don't maintain their plumbing? So they only want certain risks right now, because if it's not good for them, they don't want the business. So it's kind of like it's making it really hard for us to find insurance right now. So if people buy home insurance, they have to start looking right away. Don't wait till last minute.
But some companies, like you said, have totally exited the market. But Farmers is still offering policies. They're just selective.
Yes.
But people should call you and see if they qualify, right?
Yes, definitely. And if they don't qualify for Farmers, then I can broker it out to other companies as well to help find. We have different carriers now that are just coming out of the woodworks. They're like, oh, I've never heard this company before, but now we're using them because a lot of major companies are not doing business in California, unfortunately.
No coverage.
Yeah. And then also what a lot of companies are doing are non-renewing their customer. Like if they're in a fire zone, they're being non-renew. If they are a bad driver in terms of if they have 2 points on their record, then a lot of companies are not writing those people. So make sure you keep your insurance. Don't miss your payment, because if you miss your payment, your policy gets canceled. You can't get reinstatement right now. And there's a waiting period too.
And don't get too many speeding tickets.
Yes. Or take traffic score. If you get speeding ticket, then it won't count as a point. Yeah.
So besides property and casualty, over which you are an expert, what other types of insurance can you offer people besides home insurance, for example?
So I do home insurance, car insurance, commercial, workers' comp, and also life insurance.
Life insurance?
Yes.
And can you tell us just quickly a little bit about what different types of life insurance policies Farmers offers?
Yes, so we do offer term and permanent life insurance under Index Universal Life Insurance. So the term is for people mainly if they have a mortgage and kids, they want to make sure they protect that in case something happens. Because normally in California, if you have a mortgage, you can have two income, right, to afford a mortgage. So what happens if one spouse passes away, then the other spouse will leave trying to make the mortgage payment. So having that mortgage protection life insurance is definitely helpful to maybe pay off the mortgage so they don't have to sell the house or move out. And then we also have a permanent life policy where you can accumulate cash value. I call it kind of like a saving account where you get life insurance, you get to accumulate cash value, you get to use it to supplement your retirement, and you get to defer tax or tax-free when it gets paid out. So it's a good way to transfer wealth.
I think a lot of people don't understand that permanent life insurance, the second kind you were talking about, is actually a great way to build a retirement plan. Because if you have an IRA, for example, or a 401k, and you make a withdrawal later on, you have to pay taxes on it.
Exactly.
As you make your minimum required distributions.
Yes.
But if you have cash value in a life insurance policy and you pull money out when you retire, I don't think you have to pay income tax on that. Is that right?
No, because when you pull it out, it's considered a loan. So you're borrowing from yourself. So you can borrow from your life insurance policy up to 75% of the cash value. And you don't have to pay back, because when you die, the death benefit will pay back your loan, and then the rest go to your beneficiary tax-free. So you avoid paying tax.
Oh, so double tax-free. Tax-free when you pull the money out.
Yes.
And then tax-free, income tax-free to your beneficiaries when you kick the bucket.
Yes, exactly. So
Whereas
it's kind of like a win.
Yeah, but with an IRA, you're paying tax when you pull it out. And even if you die and you leave it to your beneficiaries, they pay the deferred income tax. So life insurance really has some advantages over your standard run-of-the-mill IRA or 401k account.
Yes, I have a client that just had a newborn. This is a great way to do a life policy. You don't think of doing life policy on your kids, but I have it on my kids. It's more an investment saving account for them. And so for a newborn, if you put $100 a month, just $100 a month, by the time they reach their retirement age, 65, they have at least $1 million in their account.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky kids.
As death benefit and as a cash value account. So they can borrow up to 75% from that too.
Oh, that's great. Is there, I've heard a little bit about insurance rates increasing. Is there things that people can do? Like if plumbing and water damage is most of the issue these days, is there any discounts other than, I remember the good student driver,
Yes.
First get my license when I was 16, but is there anything in the home that we can do? Like there's a repiping, would that help your insurance go down? Is there any type of tips that you can share with anybody out there to maybe help lower that payment or premium?
Yes, definitely. The plumbing is a big thing. So right now, Farmers Insurance is actually, we are writing new business, but for houses that are 30 years or older, they will insure them as long as they install what's called a whole house water leak detection device and automatic shut off. Meaning that device will detect if there's a water leak, and then if there's a leak, it automatically shuts it off.
Oh.
So if you install that device, the device costs about $500 to get, and then you just hire a plumber to install it. And then once you install that, they will give you insurance and a discount on your homeowner insurance as well.
That's great.
So you can definitely get insurance. Another thing would be like having an alarm system, like a ADT or Ring, like a professional alarm system. You get a discount for that too. And you want to raise your deductible. So if you have high deductible, it will lower your premium, and it also helps because you don't want to file any small claims. Because if you file, like, let's say 2 claims within a year, they're going to non-renew you. So you want to make sure that you only file claims when it's worth it, when it's catastrophic. But for something small, you don't want to go through insurance. You want to take care of it yourself. So that way you can keep your insurance, and then the rate doesn't go up next year. So it's not worth it for small claims. So that's why you raise your deductible. So that way you can keep your insurance, and it only use it for a catastrophic event only.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Wow, this is just great information. I feel like I know so much more about insurance right now.
Oh.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
Maybe you could give everyone your phone number.
Oh.
And anyone listening can call you if they want to get some insurance. What's your phone number?
Okay. So,
Or
yeah.
what's the best way to contact you?
Okay, yes. So my number is I have an office number, which is 949-271-9049. And then I also give my client my cell phone too, just in case when there's emergency like claims, they can always reach me, because I'd rather them talk to me first and call the 800 numbers. I can help guide them through the whole process.
That's good to know.
And a lot of clients do prefer that. So my cell phone is 714-323-7906.
Yeah. And we had these props here. We just want to talk a little bit about, not props, but things that you do for either your clients that are signing up with a policy or those people who refer you the business. Did you want to kind of talk about some of the things that you do as well?
Yes, so I do a lot with homeowners who are first-time home buyer who are buying a house, and of course when you buy a house you have to move, and what do you need to move? You need moving boxes. So for the clients, the referral partners that send me their clients, so I give them free moving boxes, but I put their name and number. So this is the lender, and I will put his information on here because he's the one that referred me to business, and to give to their clients as a free closing gift. So it's all free, it doesn't cost them anything. 25 of these moving boxes, and people like to share boxes and give them away. So then that way it's kind of like, getting your business card out. That's
a great idea.
To your friends and family. Or if they stay in your garage and down the road if you need something, you can think of that person. So they can choose that with the tape dispenser, also branded too as well, with their information. And this thing normally stays in their kitchen, so then they always see them in their kitchen drawer or something. So that goes with the box. Or they can choose like a free tool kit. This is nice for people, to start off.
I would probably pick that one.
Yeah. So
There's a lot of
depends
good
on
stuff in there.
Yeah, and it's also branded too. The whole purpose is branded for the referral partner, so that way they can get their name to stay in the household for a long time.
Right, so it's not just the box; you get tools inside too.
Yeah, so we
Look
kind
at
of
that.
come up with this. We put it all together ourselves because we sure that homeowners can use all these things like tape measure, all the tools, all the thing, even a flash everything that you can think of. So we just thought of it, and we just want to make sure that it's, a welcoming gift to the home buyer that they can use. So yeah,
that's great.
And it's free.
So feel free to reach out, and you can get some free swag while you're at it.
Thanks Marie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.